So guys, we've got the Vivo V15 Pro in the house. Before this, Vivo had the V11 Pro, which in itself was a pretty good looking device. But the V15 Pro, it's just so much more better looking, packs so much more performance, and has a much better camera setup. So let's quickly dive into the box and see what we've got inside. Alright, first thing, it's probably a quick start guide, and oh, it does have the casing. And that's the V15 Pro right there. I can see all screen in the front and a beautiful color at the back, but let's talk about this a little later. Okay, that's just some stuff. We get the fast dual charger. It's probably 18 watts and it's going to fast charge your 3700 milliampere hour battery. You get a micro USB cable. It is not Type C. And then you do get this really decent pair of earphones right into the box, and that's pretty good. So that's everything that you have. Let's also look at the documentation guide and the rubber casing inside. That's got the ejection pin, and at the back there's some specifications. That's the rubber casing that comes within the box. Pretty good, and we'll talk more about it. That's the V15 Pro, and the colors look really good. I mean, it's got this really nice balance of being a loud and a subtle blue at the same time. It's got two-tone gradient. Beautiful. I think it's really nice. Let's get into the specifications real quick. The V15 Pro comes with Android 9 Pie. It's powered by a Snapdragon 675 octa-core processor, and it's got 6 GB of RAM. A 6.39-inch Super AMOLED FHD Plus resolution display. All of that is just fabulous. The best part are actually the cameras. So in the front you get a 32 megapixel selfie pop camera. That's amazing. And then at the back you get a triple AI camera setup. The first lens at the top is a 5 megapixel portrait lens. The second one is an 8 megapixel super wide angle camera, and the third one is a 48 million pixel quad pixel sensor, which is effectively 12 megapixels. You also get an impressive 3700 milliampere hour battery. Brilliant again, and to top it all, it comes in this amazing body. It actually looks really good. I mean, I thought the V11 Pro was quite different with its Starry Night two-tone gradient color, but this one, it just takes it up another notch. Love the color, very different, very lively, not at all dull. So yeah, let's jump into the design and the build. As I've been talking about the color, depending on how you tilt and how light bounces off the surface at the back, it might seem like blue color at times or peacock green at times. So that's pretty interesting and I really like it. And I also particularly like how the camera band is done. I think it looks pretty futuristic. Now the back is obviously plastic, but it doesn't feel cheap or anything. I think it feels pretty good, and that's the bottom line. The device does feel heavier than other devices in this segment, but I actually prefer that. I mean, the phone does not feel like a toy phone, and it's just got some bulk in it. And here's the exciting part. They've integrated their elevating selfie camera into this phone. That's just great. And they claim that it's engineered to withstand daily stress. All right. You get the micro SD card slot on the top right corner, so you can expand storage anytime you want. A great addition. And at the bottom you get the dual SIM card tray with dual VoLTE enabled, so that's just another plus. Okay, let's move on to the display. It's a beautiful 6.39-inch Super AMOLED display with FHD Plus resolution. Now the size takes care of delivering an immersive viewing experience, and you're really going to enjoy pretty much any movie or video or game that you play on this. And since there is no camera or any sensor or any bezel that's up front visible to you, you do truly get an edge-to-edge display experience. Now, it's Super AMOLED, and obviously, just like any AMOLED display, it's bright, it's saturated, vivid, and it's just got like this really super punchy, colorful display. And since the resolution is so high, you just get like this really crisp, high-quality display with a lot of detail, whether it's pictures, whether it's your gaming, or, just any video that you watch, you're just gonna get this really nice high quality HD stuff. So yeah, totally worth it. And now let's talk about the OS. The first thing you see is the always on display, and that's great because I love always on display. I can see all notifications and everything. It's got in-display fingerprint sensor, which is 5th gen, and that's pretty fast. And despite the elevating camera, the face unlock is insanely fast as well. Now the V15 Pro does come with Android 9 Pie right out of the box, but it is layered on top with FunTouch OS, which is Vivo's own customization of the Android OS. It looks and functions quite differently as compared to the stock Android OS, but in spirit and features you would almost have everything and even more. For example, all apps are on the home screen itself and there is no app drawer. But again, nothing that you can't adapt yourself to or that you can't download a third-party app to make it look like and behave like the general Google OS, right? Apps open and close fairly quickly. App switching is pretty fast. Screen transitions, animations, all of those, as you can see, are very smooth. And of course, there's tons of personalization and customization that's possible. For example, there's on-screen navigation when you get the phone, but then you can go into settings, change that to navigation gestures, and then you can just swipe, the screen at the bottom to go back to the home or to recent apps. Other than that, there's just a lot more stuff. For example, there's S Capture. It lets you record your screen in a video format, take long screenshots, of a scrolling item. Or you could just go into settings and then there's smart click, there's smart motion, there is split screen, there's one-handed mode. I mean, there's just a lot of stuff that you can explore, customize and personalize it to make the most value. And now let's just come to performance. The Snapdragon 675 processor in the V15 Pro is actually a pretty neat addition. It's a pretty good mid-range processor. It's just got like the right amount of power required to deliver the most apt user experience. I mean, processors better than the 675 is just luxury, like the 845 Snapdragon. They just take everything to another level, but that's also pretty expensive. Now, if you pick the processor that's lower than the 675, for example, the 660, actually that's pretty poor on the performance side. So the 675 is like a pretty good balance of power and cost. So the processor is actually pretty good for the cost. Now, let's talk about the RAM. It's got 6 gigs of RAM. There's only one variant, and 6 gigs of RAM is actually pretty much enough for today's need. I mean, even 2 years down the line, I think 6 GB is going to be pretty good. If you just want to future-proof yourself, there is no other variant available for the VIVO V15 Pro, but I don't really see the need either. Now, gaming is one aspect that is like a validation of performance, and I've been playing the Asphalt 9. I played the Chameleon Run game, and now I'm playing Modern Combat 5. Asphalt 9, however, played a little sluggish in the beginning. It was slightly, I could feel that there was a frame drop. But when I was playing Chameleon Run, and even when I'm playing Modern Combat 5 right here in front of you, these games played flawlessly smooth. I mean, absolutely no hiccup. Really smooth, graphics are great, a lot of detail, and yeah, it's just, I think overall the texture of the gaming is also pretty good. And of course, I had to try out PUBG for you guys. And all you fans, you will not be disappointed. PUBG by default decides to play in HD depending on the performance of the phone. So good news, it plays in HD quality. And I've been playing all these games non-stop for quite some time. Although I'm just showing you in pieces, the phone's not getting too hot. Of course, I've lost a bit of battery ever since I've been playing all these games in a row. But other than that, no performance issues, no lag. I think it's just really good. So if you're looking for a gaming experience, I think you're gonna get a pretty good one on the VIVO V15 Pro. Definitely, levels or games are not going to load as fast. But other than that, I think it's phenomenal. And now let's talk about the camera. The specifications are right in front of you, so I'm not going to talk about that. But Vivo has been one of those smartphones that have had the best smartphone cameras in the mid-range smartphone segment. And this is no exception. Here are a couple of samples right in front of you. No changes, no edits done. All of them shot on the V15 Pro. All of these images will be available for download, so you can check it out for yourself. Overall, I really feel that the pictures taken are amazing quality. I've compared them to the OnePlus pictures that I took earlier, and trust me, I actually find these better. And here are a couple of portrait shots that I took, with the bokeh effect. They've also come out pretty well, and overall, I just think I really enjoyed using this camera. This is the ultra wide mode, so that's the normal picture, and that's how it is when you have the ultra wide mode. Of course, I'll be doing a deeper camera review pretty soon, so watch out for that. And now let's talk about the interface real quick. It's pretty easy, very standard. You get all your modes at the bottom. So you've got your regular photo, video, AI stickers, you get AI beauty, you get night mode, panorama, the pro mode, and a document scanning mode. So you can just click a picture of a document. At the top, you get your flash mode. Then there's HDR. Then there is studio lighting. There's live photo, and then your usual settings. You get your timer. You get some filters built in. There's also an AI filter, so it automatically sets the best filter for that picture. And then there is the bokeh mode, and then ultra wide mode, so it just pans out and you can see a lot more. So yeah, those are some of the settings. Now in video, you get 4K video recording at 30 fps, full HD video recording at 30 fps and 60 fps, and you get 720p at 60 fps. So you do get smooth motions, but only up to full HD resolution, not at 4K, and that's